All right, so today is the 17th of September. I tried to do this a couple days ago for Thursday and Friday. For some reason, it didn't take. That's fine. Technical difficulties are part of our lives as teachers. So here goes. I am having different thoughts about Lead 21. Uh, I have Unit 2 and Unit 3 because Unit 3 because the literacy takeover is going to have the last week of Unit 2 and the first week of Unit 3. Um, honestly, I think my feelings are changing towards Lead 21. Um, I think that my reservations had to deal with the way that I was seeing it being taught, and the way that it is being taught. Um, Miss Laney, Miss Laney is doing it in a very teacher directed way, um, meaning a lot of the information comes from teaching, um, and a lot of the direction comes from the teacher. Um, but as I get deeper into the curriculum, I feel like um, it's almost like a balanced literacy framework, Fontes and Pinnell, but you're given the materials, right? You're given basils, for lack of a better word, that can fit within the guided reading framework. And I actually find that to be particularly attractive. Um, the idea that, my first year, maybe two, maybe three of teaching, especially with a framework that is as liberating and terrifying as a balanced literacy framework, it's great to feel like it's great to have, right, structure that will help me to direct those things that can be hard to manage, like what to read, what the mini lessons need to be, and stuff like that. Now, I do understand that in the books, right, that we have, it tells us these kinds of things to do, and I think that those things are very useful. But I also like the idea that in Lead 21, you're hitting all kinds of cross disciplinary connections, right? For instance, a couple of kids was confused the other day because they wasn't sure if we were doing science or if we were doing reading, right? Because the unit that we're in now is called A Green Future, if I remember correct. Yes, A Green Future. So it deals with a lot of science. The last one dealt with the heritage, so there was a little social studies, and the next one deals with a nation's beginnings, right? So a little bit more history type stuff. And the thing, I like that. I like that. Now, it would be nice if they had something like this that was for math. Um, but I have yet to see all of the units come together. Yeah. So the first one was identity, then everyday science. The third is geography and economics. The fourth unit is earth science. The fifth unit is history and culture. Sixth unit is life science. Seventh unit is government and citizenship, and the eighth unit is challenges. So I feel like I'm growing to really like it, and I'm a little disappointed that I may go somewhere else and they don't use Lead 21. That's how I'm feeling right now. I mean, I like it, and like I said, I wanted to wait and give it time you know, before I offer my judgment on it. So I'll still give it a little while, right? Monday will be the first day I will be by myself, so I'll be leading it all. Miss Laney really just wants me to just do whatever feels right for me. Of course, staying within the framework, right? Week 2, day 1, and Everyday Math, Unit 3.1. So it'll be a great day to kind of experiment. I don't want to deviate too far though from the routine. Right, in the book, in the teacher guide, it says to do the spelling last. Typically, we do the spelling first. I don't think I'm going to mess with that routine at all. But then I'll just bring in the other things as well afterwards. I'm also thinking about doing a little bit of rotating groups. There are 4 differentiated groups in the curriculum, and typically Miss Laney has them do comprehension questions independently. I feel like I want to start meeting with groups to I want to start meeting with groups and having these comprehension questions together, right? Guided reading style. Um, and also just to give them a little practice for when I take over, because when I take over, I definitely have some very clear ideas of what I want that to look like within the Lead 21 framework. Um, Now, this is why I'm starting to feel a little insecure because I'm wondering if, well, I don't know if insecure, I don't care, semantics, whatever. Because I do feel like I may be pushing in the space, right? For instance, I've taken to writing down the agenda on a little whiteboard for myself. Miss Laney writes the objectives on the board, but I need the agenda. I need the times so I can kind of see where the chunks of times go during the day. And I noticed on Friday is when she noticed the little whiteboard because it was sitting out at the little desk that I sit at, and I saw her looking at it. And I'm wondering what her thoughts were when she was looking at this agenda. Um, you know, I'm always mediating feelings of insecurity being in this classroom because I know how aggressive I can be and I know how type A I can be, and I don't want to be stepping on toes. Um, I don't want to upset the apple cart at all. I understand I'm leaving in December, right? That's only in a couple of months. And so I don't want to do anything that will jeopardize, right, what she has to maintain after losing another body in the room. Um, but um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how she felt about that agenda. Um, and frankly, I'm thinking that if I'm in a class by myself, I probably even need that agenda on the board um, to help me to mediate the time, help me to negotiate that time. Um, I'm also thinking of using more parts of the curriculum. They have these word skeletons, um, and they have a resource master, and in that resource master is a little worksheet. Um, I don't know. I just feel like Lead 21 is offering a lot of things that frankly we don't. That maybe we don't have to do as much work and as much creativity, if you will. Um, just kind of let the curriculum do what it do. And I'm feeling like I want to see what it looks like, and I feel like it will build independence in the children, which is what Miss Laney definitely wants to happen. Um, but it's interesting because I mean, based on the things that I'm reading in the book in the teacher guide, I mean, by now it seems like the children should be independent, and they're getting a lot more independent. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I'm thinking about um, I don't know. I've been thinking about all the different teachers I have seen. I'm starting to see that I prefer a balanced literacy framework. I prefer small mini lessons and then um, ample time for children to work out those mini lessons independently and then coming back together for kind of a debrief about how that went and then a reteaching, right? And so, what's that? Teach, practice, debrief, reteach, right? I don't know. I mean, I would love to see Lead 21 with all the components in use. Also, though, this is the K-5 program. I've been wondering about what these kinds of things look like in middle school. I mean, we saw one example of a read aloud in a middle school classroom. Frankly, though, it was just read aloud. So I really want to see what this looks like with older children because even if I was to work at a place like Urban Prep, I still think I want to use this kind of framework with ninth graders. Um, Frankly, I feel like this would work with high school students. I mean, we would just, of course, um, meet. What's the word? Moderate, not moderate. Mediate, no. Modify the lessons up, right? To where I mean, even if I'm teaching seniors, right? Then when they come to the guided reading table or when they come to my desk and when they sitting around talking, then it's a senior type of discussion. Um, and to a certain extent, I feel like that's college readiness, right? The colleges I went to, um, And granted, right? I went to an Ivy League school, and then the only time that I left, kind of the top 10 schools for college is when I went to Eastern Illinois for my master's. But even there, right, it's all seminar based. And I spent a little time at community college before Columbia. And there the goal was to get it to seminar based, but the people were a little resistant, except certain people. And so I feel like even if we're teaching high school kids, thinking about college readiness, right? I'm thinking about the college experience I had and the kind of college experience that I feel like honestly produces critical thinkers and creative people. And so I feel like this can be modified all along, right, the K-12 span. Um, I'm interested to see what this looks like with older children, though. You know, um, so it would definitely be nice to see a middle school teacher or a high school teacher that has a balanced literacy framework and are actually using it, right? I understand that, this quarter, we're being with people who may or may not. That's all nice and dandy for the first one, but like I want to see people who are actually using this joker. Um, and using it like for real, not people who I don't know. That can be a conversation we can have face to face. But anyway, that's it. Signing off. That's a little longer than normal, but it was for 3 days. So signing off.